Well, I'm finally back to doing my brake job that I had mentioned a couple videos ago. Um, that I had bought some of the parts for these brake lines, brake fluid. I also got the rear brake lines up there, just the soft lines. The not any hard lines are all good as far as I can tell. Um, and then my ignition locked up on me, so that became my next project before the brakes. But anyway, main reason I'm doing it is I do have a soft brake pedal. Had it since I've had the car, but I mean, so I've kind of neglected it. However, I will say, not that you can see it all that well, but the fluid in there is a little dark. Let me see if I can sort of show you. I've got my light in the back of the car plugged in. I don't know if this will work. I'll try it. Anyway, it is dark fluid in there. Not nice and pretty like it's supposed to be. So, I'm hoping that's the only problem, is that it's just old. I don't have one of the little testers that test for water in the brake lines, since most that watch this know that it is I think it's hygroscopic or hydroscopic, something like that. Anyway, it attracts water. So, and then the more that gets in there, the more it contaminates it. And I don't know exactly, I'm not really sure how it gets dark, but I guess part of that could be if the soft brake lines break down internally, which is what they tend to do, break down internally before you see anything happen on the outside. Which when I go to the back tire, I'll show you in a minute how I can see cracking on, at least on that back brake line, just on the outside. It's not leaking, just tell it's probably original. But I'd ordered these, I think, like I said, and brake fluid, Pentosan, Super DOT4. I've got 4 of those just in case. I'm going to try to flush everything out of the system as best I can. No, I do not have a star scan tool to activate the ABS pump, so I'll get what I get out of there, I suppose. There was another thing too that I've read, that you can jump the fuse to make something pump out, but there's really not that much fluid in it. And I apologize for not knowing the term, but since I'm not worrying about it, that's why I really focused on that. And to do the job, it was recommended to get a pressure bleeder versus a vacuum bleeder. Supposedly, apparently I've never used, well, I attempted to use a vacuum bleeder years ago with 0 success. Still got it somewhere actually though, but ended up just using somebody to pump the brake for me. You know, up down, open close bleeders. Took forever, but it got the job done. And but they it was suggested to use this pressure bleeder, so I got this Motive Products power bleeder. Ordered it from ECS Tuning. I want to say FCP might have had it, but it was like a good bit cheaper. No offense to FCP, for ECS Tuning there. And it came with that's what you get normally, and then along with just, well, I guess, an American style cap. This one's the European threaded cap that's supposed to go in place of that cap there. Hopefully that does work, because it is a little bit taller than that one, as long as it's the same width and thread. The only bad thing that I had seen people post about and have noticed myself is, so the lid itself, that plastic little nipple that comes off and is the hose attaches to, does not move. The whole thing spins. This end of it is all one metal piece. So there's no, like, I don't know the actual name of the joint, but there's the slip joint where you can move one part of the joint but not the other, like the brake lines that I'm about to do. And then that part of the motor bleeder also does not do that, which that would be the best part right there. I'm assuming they do it that way because the pressure would, that you, once you pump that up, little pump there, that the pressure would make it leak through that joint. I don't know, I'm just guessing. But anyway, I got that, so hopefully it'll basically be a one-man show once I get all the rubber lines installed. And then just what I'll end up doing is connecting that onto there, and then before I put any fluid in the motor bleeder, I'll connect, gosh, I'm looking at my real finger, not the one on the video, sorry, connect that part there. I'll just basically hold the motor bleeder up and spin the whole motor bleeder till it's tight on there, and then I'll take the fluid and pour it all in there. So, but anyway, I've already kind of started. Obviously, like I said, don't necessarily need the hood in the service position, but it just will make getting into there a little bit easier. I'll probably, there's one screw here, then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, over there that hold this whole cow piece on. And then there's 2 hoses under there. Can't really make them out from here. I haven't undone them yet. I probably will, just to make things a little bit easier, just because I don't want to kink this line underneath there and risk the pressure not working right. But anyway, like I said, it's in the garage. Forgive my mess. It's just a one-car garage, unfortunately. Oh, and side note, these 2 pieces. I have all the pieces. They broke up into pieces for both sides, but that part is no longer available. So neither is the front bumper, which I think I've said in other videos. It's from a W140, not a C140. I did get from the dealership that little clip there, which obviously is the wrong color, but it was missing. I want to say it was on the car when I bought it, but I don't remember. And it's not there now. Yeah, see, here's what it should look like. But and I could probably do something to it to make it match, but I'm just glad that the gap is not there anymore. Just that little clip from Mercedes, $17 with tax. The worst thing I've noticed, again, I'm kind of sidetracking here, is, well, I noticed this fading the other day, which I was like, oh man, maybe it'll buff out, but then I noticed this. Not good. It's cracked here and here, and it basically lifts up. I could pretty much peel that off. So, kind of disheartening. I don't know if that means it's been fixed before or what, which actually, now that I look at it, you look in that light, you can see where something's been sanded. So it must have been painted here before, for whatever reason, at some point. Anyway, I don't know. But oh yeah, here's the little rear brake lines. Not much to them. Probably got a couple little rubber things on there to help hold them in place certain places, but no, I've toyed with the idea of it'd be a lot of money and probably not worth it, but just fun to remove this whole top roof panel and sunroof, put in a big old piece of carbon fiber just to light things up. Losing the sunroof and putting a light piece of carbon fiber up there would definitely loosen things up, or lighten things up, excuse me. So anyway, so oh yeah, there's the other piece there. Yeah, so I got, it's like both of them have part of it, but not all of it. I don't know about that. Anyway, so a week or so ago, I'd went around and sprayed some PB Blaster on the brake lines. Started on this one already earlier, and then I was like, wait, need to film a little bit. So my initial plan was to take the calipers off, to just try to drain what fluid's in there. But the 2 bolts, I don't think there's anything wrong with them, but they're just haven't been removed in some time, which is not necessarily a bad thing. The good thing is plenty of brake pad left there, which I know that light's glaring. I apologize. But plenty of brake pad. But anyway, I had gotten, before I remember to stop, bleeder valve. It came loose, thankfully, and that end of the brake line came loose. I'm still working on that end. That's the part that scares me the most on all 4 corners. Just because the old Grand Cherokee I had, which was in a couple of older videos, when I replaced the rubber brake lines on it, I ended up only being able to get the 2 front ones and 2 of the 3 back ones. And the 2 front ones, when I got this joint undone, it broke the hard line, and I ended up having to reflare it. It worked, drove it that way years with no leaks, but it still just worries me. I don't want to break these. So there we are. But anyway, I'm starting with, anytime you bleed brakes, you're supposed to start with the wheel furthest from the brake master cylinder, which, being American car, it's left-hand drive. So the right rear passenger wheel, and then the left rear passenger. Yeah, I'm using this jack just because I don't really feel like finding a spot for a jack stand, or not jack stand, but a stand. Anyway, and I'll put the tire under there just in case. But anyway, after this brake and that one over there, then the front passenger, and then the front driver's side. Obviously there'll be some air when I put the new lines in, because that is, but I'm going to just try to keep an eye on the master cylinder there, that doesn't drain too low, if at all, so that, because you don't want it to go dry, or then you have to bleed good grief, I'm sorry, bleed the master cylinder, which is a pain in the butt to do. Seen it done, but never had to do it, so don't want to do it now if I don't have to. But anyway, like I said, that's my plan. So I've already loosened these 2, and gosh, it's a good light, but the gym is so bright. I really need a little tripod for this. I would like to work on this a little bit, but I tried a little bit earlier. This little, whatever it is, it was already in that position, but when I was trying earlier, I wasn't holding this bottom part. It doesn't have a nut shaped feature like that one end does, which, by the way, the bleeder valve is 8 millimeters. That end of the brake line is 14. Yeah. And then the metal, this part here is 9 millimeters. And then the 2 flat spots that are, I don't know if you can see them, that are on that part of the brake line, here, I'll show you on this one up here. It'll be a little better. There you go. See? Yeah, it'll focus. Focus. There we go. See? Got 1, 2. So, but when I was trying it earlier, I didn't hold the bottom line, the bottom of the rubber line, or the top of the rubber line, excuse me, while doing that one. So I'll try get this. You can see that happen maybe. Hopefully. Let's see. Okay, maybe real still. There's that. Oops. No. That's. Oh yeah, correction. The bleeder valve is 9 millimeters, not 8. Yes. Or did I just round it off? Yeah, shoot. Can't tell if I'm rounding it off or if it's coming loose. Of course. Yeah, just rounding it off. Of course. Wouldn't have it any other way. Anyway. So I may end up having to do some work to it. But anyway, I'll try to pick this mosquito back up once I get it loosened. We'll go from there. Thanks. Back at it. Okay, so I finally got that loose. First, I decided, well, maybe a little heat would help. So, got this guy out. And I did blast it briefly, just right here, but I didn't want to get on this plastic and melt that. So I said, well, I've been wanting to look at the top shock mounts anyway, because there is a little bit of a clunk back here. So I took those guys out. They're just little plastic little nuts, which that one, the little stud's still partially in there. However, the rest of it is in there. Don't know why a metal stud broke off on a plastic thing, but anyway. So then I was like, well, let me just try a little bit more. So got a couple wrenches and just kind of tapped around that. Not super hard, because I mean, not that there's much room anyway, but tapped on that. And let's see, if I remember right, it's 11 millimeters, yeah. And it decided to come undone. So, oops, see, nice and loose. So, and like I said, I've already got the bleeder valve, which was also the same with this. That one had 9. Yeah, 9 millimeters. And the bottom of the brake line itself, which I think was 14. Let's see. Yeah, 14 millimeters for the brake line there. I have to get it out in order to be able to get it out without twisting things. You have to do that side first and then get it out of the caliper. But as you can see, I mean, this one is kind of cracked and not the best looking. So probably original. I'm glad I am replacing them, even if they aren't necessarily bad. But before I take that apart, let's go ahead and get some of this tools out of the way. I did get a, whether it's necessary or not, excuse me, the reason it's taking me a few days to get back to this, which obviously in the video is just a couple seconds later, but the day after I filmed the very first part of this, got a scratchy throat, and then started feeling kind of, that was on a Thursday, and that Friday, started feeling kind of blah. I was off Thursday, I worked with Friday. Felt a little off, but not horrible. Saturday though, woke up, did not feel good at all, and ended up taking yesterday off. But COVID test was negative Friday when I was super congested and everything like that. And then I didn't take another one just since that was negative, and as congested as I was, I figured it would have said something. Anyways, I think it was the flu, so I'm still a little bit congested. Every once in a while I'll cough a little bit still, but never got the body aches. Just kind of tired and weak feeling, and got winded easily. Anyway, sorry about me. So let's get this, as far as I could tell, that's the only three things holding this on. I've developed a little spider friend somewhere here, just in the time that it's been there. But yeah, I just would really like to. And I noticed when I've looked here, apparently there's definitely been, I know I showed you that spot up on the B pillar up there. Yeah, this poor thing's definitely had some work done in the past. I don't think there's any rust per se, but definitely want to clean in behind this thing once I get it out. Oh. Ooh. Oh, shoot. Oh, maybe there is something hidden I don't know about. Just don't want to break anything. Don't see. Unless I'm supposed to have the bumper off. Oh, there's that. This is not easy one-handed. Okay, so in that case, let me kind of just set this. I don't know what it'll be filming, but right there. Is there something on that right there? No. Sure. Millennia of dust. Oops. That wasn't good. Ooh, there was a... clip. Oops. Yep, so... Yep, I'll show you. Okay, so... got it out. There was... Oh. Broke that a little bit. There was another place for a clip, but didn't see the hole. Anyway, it doesn't help me because I'm a dummy. But I can't see up in there to the shock tower anyway. So let's see. Let's see what I can see with this. Quite the right angle. Well, okay, so well, now we all know what that looks like back there. Yeah, that bothered me that dang thing broke. Cool. This area doesn't look like it was not that bad. But anyway, I think I will leave it out though to clean it some. So for now, just leave it like it is. So anyway, okay, so now let's get that out of the way. Bring my pan here to catch whatever fluid comes out. I'd hoped to take the caliper off and get, excuse me, whatever fluid was in there out. But those caliper bolts, that one, they have an internal hex of 6 millimeters, and they do not want to come out, even after some PB blaster. But at least for now, the brake pads are pretty good. So can't really see them, I guess, from right there, but from this side there, they're not bad. At least that one. So let's get that about right there. And where did that 11 millimeter go? There it is. Okay. And they do make more specialized wrenches. Yeah, this is just normal open end, which I'm sure most of y'all know about this, but they make open end wrenches that go around the line better and get more grip on excuse me, on these little brake line nuts. I'll show you one I've got. I've got some SAE ones, but no metric ones. Yes. And there we go. So there's that off. And this should still be, nope, not as loose as I need it to be. Where did the 14 go? There it is. Should have 15 over here too for some reason. I don't remember why. Oh yeah, that's the, on this one, the two little flat pieces are 15 millimeters. There we go. Yes, now you see why. It twists. You gotta. Drain what's in there. Make a mess. So none is coming out of the caliper. Well, if it is, it's a mess. Let that drain a bit. Let's see if this helps that any. Sorry for heavy breathing. Okay, so anyway, you don't want that all leaking out. So, grab one of the new ones. It just goes right up in here to the line. Oops, sorry. Just gotta get the in there. Okay, so it's in there. I need 2 hands to tighten it up. But there you go. So I'll tighten that up. And actually first, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. For those saying it in your head, I put this end in first. Okay, but again, either way, it's going to be easier with 2 hands, so I'm going to turn it off for the moment. See you in a bit. Okay, already on the driver's side now, which I'm kind of going in the order that you would bleed the brakes, which is furthest from the master cylinder to the closest. Not really a particular reason why I'm doing it that way, just how I'm doing it. This side came apart much quicker. Same day, just a few minutes later, I already buttoned up the other side. Not taking this out on this side, just because I guess I'm being lazy. Plus I don't want to risk breaking any of those things, and plus I can't see up in there anyway. So, excuse me, sorry, still. Anyway, so I just added a little extra PB blaster on everything. That came loose, and hit that with the 14 millimeter that for the other part there, and it came loose first crack. So, very happy with that. Just getting it undone the rest of the way. But so yeah, I know typically most people, mechanics on here, don't do both sides if they're pretty much the same, but just wanted to show how quick this one was. Like I said, it was, I just put the other tire, lowered the other side back down less than 5 minutes ago, and this side's already come undone. So next I'll do the passenger side front wheel and go from there. Alright, back at it here. Sorry for some of the noises. I got my garage door open. neighbor's mowing, and the dog is mine that's barking, if you can hear it. But anyway, so I'm gonna see, we got the line comes in right there, which, let me turn the light on here. Here we go. So, I'll spray that. Some more PB. I've done this already, but just and a little more in there. There we go. Yeah, fan in here. You can see the particles of PB, see it all floating around there like little gnats. Oh, okay. Spray the. Sure, sorry, probably not good to get that all that light, but too late. Okay, that move this a little bit. Sorry, this oil, I gotta clean it up. It drips out of my glove. That's the thing to hold that in. Oh yeah. Let me show you. This was the other side. I believe that's the one. This was the passenger side. Yeah, how badly cracked it is. So, don't feel like it's a good thing that I'm changing this stuff. Okay, let's see if I can crack this bad boy open. There we go. Tuck it in on the other one. Tighten it first and then loosen it. So, there we go. That one down. Take it back up. And the 14. This guy. Oh, nice. Okay. Good. Now, actually show you what I've. Oh, sorry, that's on my knees. So, this is all I've really been doing to get these loose. Which, this has more in the way. These two lines, which one of those is the ABS, and the other is the brake pad sensor. The only extra part that is on the front line, obviously it's longer, but it also has this guy passing through the spindle. Sorry, I just drawn a blank there. Where's that thing going? So, but the new line, which, well, I had it. But it's not within reach. But it's got one too. But you can see, heck, you can see where that's even cracking right there. So let me see if I can get that. I brought it over here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, see, the new one's got that element too in this. So, yeah. And again, the fronts are the same as the back. The bleeder was 9 millimeters. Right in the line's 14, and so this should still be 11. coming loose. So, good. Before I get that all the way undone, I'm going to try. Oops. Get this out. May need a screwdriver. No, let's see. Let's get this little 9mm from the. Oh. Ah, okay. Anyway, yeah, I'll just worry about that in a minute. Yeah, I mean, there's, I use PP Blaster, just because I don't, haven't ran across any Croil, and I'd like to try it eventually one day, but if they sell it around here, I haven't seen it before, but I've heard it works wonders also, if not better than PP, but again, I've never had issues with PP, it's always worked for me. I've even tried automatic transmission fluid and acetone. Didn't have any luck with that, but I may not have let it sit long enough. So, okay, well anyway, I'll have to put the phone down, but you get the gist of it. It's coming loose just fine. If I hit a snag, I'll come back and work on getting that guy out, and then undo the other end. So, be right back. Okay, so I skipped ahead a little bit, and I finished the other side, and I've even got this line back in. Excuse me, still just came a little congested. Got it all buttoned up in there, and down there. Oh, right there. The light's blinding you. One thing I didn't cover, let's see, like here, like I was showing on the old lines, those little rubber grommets. Found out doing the passenger side, they are a pain in the butt. So what I did, I tried a few different things, but I just have one of these little trim tools, and I just ended up pushing it through the back. Took me longer to do that than it did the last two brake lines. So I figured I'd show you that. I'm gonna have a little help here holding the camera. Just hold it right there. Don't put your finger over the lens. Okay, so but basically, it does slide around on there, but I got it about as far up as it's gonna go. Yeah, it's a plastic tool, so I'd started with a screwdriver and just did not feel safe with that. But because it felt like it was starting to kind of poke through a little bit. So I try to get some light on it from a little headlamp here. Warming it up first would help even. But no matter what, it's a pain in the butt. But anyway, so that's what I did. It just, like I said, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me, and I don't have a way of recording this to speed it up. I'm sure there is a way, but not with my phone. So I'll go ahead and turn this back off. I just want to show you. Yeah, here we go. Okay, maybe it will cooperate a little quicker than I thought it would. But yeah, you just want to get this groove here to sit in there. Kind of like so. Ah, gosh. So, but yeah, that's what we do. Thanks for watching, and I'll conclude this. I don't know if it'll be tonight or tomorrow, but with doing the fluid flush. We'll see you then. It's been a couple days since the last section of this. been working the last 2 days. Got to work today too. And just before work, I just haven't been very motivated. So that's why I'm just now getting this. Sorry, okay, on my face. About 2 days later. So anyway, so the motive bleeder didn't come with any instructions. There are instructions on the website. However, I'd also Googled it a couple days ago, and FCP Euro has a good little tutorial on it. And I followed there so far. I did the first step, which I'm glad I didn't film it, just because in order to, I've got it attached there. There's a little rubber gasket that comes with that cap that's in there also attached there. I did that, attach that joint first, and then that way it makes putting that on easier, because you can just kind of hold the bottle up in the air while it spins on. But they suggested, and this was also from Motive Bleeder's website also, is to have it empty, which it is right now, and pump it up to 15 psi, which on Motive's website it said, I think 60 pumps. It said 20 pumps for every 5 psi. Well, I did way more than that, and I had to pump fast also, just to get it to go up. It took me several minutes. So, but anyway, and it helped me. I got this in. Oops, I already had it unlocked. But it helped me, or when I was doing it, not doing the full pumps like that, but kind of go more shorter pumps. I helped get it pumped up faster. And they say to do that with it empty, just to test for any leaks in the brake system itself or in the motor bleeder. So I got it pumped up to 15 psi after many moons. And so while I was waiting on that, sorry about the mess here, I went ahead and got the wheel liner back in there, which I was only able to get two of the things. That one there, the way that little stud broke off, it won't grab back onto it, but two is better than none, I guess. And got a little brake hose that's attached to the bleeder. I'm going to get just a little bottle out of recycling to and get that, just put that into that bottle. Motive does sell a little bleeder bottle with it, but I just didn't feel like spending an extra little bit. Anyway, when I pumped this up, I ended up letting it sit for about 15 minutes. By the time I got over there, got the car jacked up, and that liner put in is about 15 minutes. And it had dropped from 15 to, I think 12, between 12 and 13, closer to 13 though, psi. So there is something somewhere in here leaking a little bit at least, but as long as it holds pressure long enough for me to get this bled, which is what I'm going to do. To get my little 9mm, yeah, for the bleeder valve. And let's see, they recommend, see, that's no more than 2 quarts, and each one of those is 2 quarts. So, and you just pour it in, you just take that out, pour it in through the top, obviously. So I'm going to get that process started. I didn't siphon any out. In fact, I'd added a little bit. Can't remember if that was on the video or not, but after letting it, while it was dripping, and it dripped especially on these front calipers, or front lines, just because of the little extra bit it took to put them on. I just added a little bit of fluid in there. So normally, let's see, when I did my old Grand Cherokee that I had, that was in a couple videos when I first started working on this thing. I wasn't working on the Jeep, it just happened to be in some of the slides, or not slides, but in some of the shots. I siphoned out some of that, but I've got enough of that. I've got 4 quarts, which is plenty. Because I'm basically just trying to flush the system. Yeah, normally you would want to siphon some of that out, which I do have. I bought this when I did that. Actually, no, it wasn't for that. It was for something else. I just saw it. There it is. This old turkey baster. Just got it at the grocery store. Works good. I think I'd used that originally for, I was doing some, power steering on that Jeep. Having some issues. So, like I said, I mean, this reservoir isn't huge. So, I'm just going to leave it as is. But, sorry, still fighting this cold flu, whatever it was. I think I mentioned it in one of the other videos. But yeah, we'll start with, for American cars that are left-hand drive, start with the right rear passenger tire, then move to the left rear passenger tire, then front passenger tire, and front driver's side tire. It would be the opposite for right-hand drive cars. Start there first, and then there, and then here, and there. You just want to start from the furthest point from the master cylinder. And in most cases, the master cylinder, what I know, is directly in front of the driver. I know in some old, at least older Jeeps, like the old Willis, that back in the 40s, their clutch cylinder, clutch reservoirs and brake were under the car. So, and there maybe other old cars like that too. But sorry, I'm rambling. So let's get this filled up, and I'll tell you what, since you don't have to see me standing there pumping again, hopefully it won't take as long to pump up with fluid in it. I'll go ahead and pour 2 quarts in here and get that pumped up. Then I'll come back at the brake back there, and we'll go from there. So, bad news. Didn't take as long to pump up with fluid in it, which was nice. Got it to 15. Had it all connected. Went back there. Nothing came out. I was like, well, what am I doing wrong? So I went on benzworld.org just to double check. Because I'd looked before on there, but I'd forgotten one of the things I'd read, that this needs 25 to 30 psi. One guy specifically said just 25. So I went ahead and pumped it up a little bit past that in between them. That took a little bit longer going from 15 to that, like 27 or 28, than it did from 0 to 15, but still, got it done. Went back there, nothing. Well, I'll take that back. No, still nothing, yeah. So then I pumped it up to 30, went back there, a tiny little bit came out right there, right at the bleeder valve, but nothing that was flowing or going, through the tube into the bottle or anything like that. So I read that there a little bit more. Looked like somebody had cranked the car. So I cranked the car, it was running. Still nothing. So I touched the brake a little bit with the bleeder valve closed, just to see if it would kind of help pressurize a little bit more. Because like whenever you're doing manual bleeding, you want to press it, press the brake down, then open the bleeder valve and press it till it gets back to the floor. Then close the bleeder valve, then you can let off the brake. Because if you let off the brake while the bleeder valve is open, it can introduce more air into the system. So that's why I close the bleeder valve, just lightly press the brake, just to see if that maybe would help a little bit while the car was running. Nothing. So double checked that it was still holding at 30. It dropped a little bit, but I pressed a little bit more, or pumped it back up to a little bit more. And then I pressed the brake a little bit more. Not hard, just a nice gentle push. Not quite through its full range of motion. Pushing down again with the bleeder valve closed. Let up. Went back there. Still nothing. So, there we are. One of the people in there suggested it, or one person had so much problems with it. They had one of these plus so this was like a pusher, and then they had the little vacuum, like a mini vac, that you attach at the brake and try to pull it from the brake or to the brake, pulling it like a vacuum. Which I've heard mixed reviews about those, that they can introduce more air, yada yada yada. And I've tried one before. It wasn't a mini vac. It was something that that's where I got the little tube from. I don't even remember if I've got the rest of the stuff in there. Anyway, it was some sort of bleeder like that. I'd actually seen it advertised on the show Gears with a Z, hosted by Stacey David. He had recommended it. I may have just been doing stuff wrong, I don't know, but I bought it when I had that old Grand Cherokee and never could get it to work, so ended up having someone pump the brakes for me. Now it's laid there, down, I'd say down, they'd press down, I'd say up, and they'd press up. And every time I said down, I'd open the bleeder and close it, open, close it. Takes forever, but gets the job done. So, and I did see at that high of pressure, apparently this fitting was leaking a little bit. Not on the hoses, just where they connect. So I may disconnect that and put some Teflon tape there. But then I also did notice that it was leaking at that connection, as you can see right there. Wasn't leaking out from under the cap, just which, I mean, there's a mess there now a little bit, because that is all the way full. From what fluid did get introduced by that, because it wasn't that full when like I said, I put a little bit in there just to make sure it didn't get too low. But no, so I'm not sure if I want to keep that filled up, put it on there, maybe go to just 25 psi, and then still have somebody in here to press the brake. Nobody here right now with me, or I'd try that. Plus I gotta start getting ready for work, but I go in at 2, so I gotta start getting ready so I can be out of the house and get there by 2. So yeah, so that's where we'll take it up next, once I have a little helper. And on that last section where I was bleeding, or replacing that brake line and trying to show how I was putting in that little grommet, I had my little helper filming that part, so I could use both hands. So if they were focusing on that and then the camera kind of went down, sorry, but it is what it is there. So I'll come back to this on the next section. Like I said, I'm off the weekend. Hopefully one of those days I can get somebody here and, like I said, try that. And I'm tempted to just have someone sit there and pump the brakes, but I almost wonder if I might not. Heck, I don't know. I just don't have to empty that. I guess I'm being lazy, but okay, sorry. Could get a funnel, I guess, to keep it in there, make sure it's staying full. I think there's anything else. No, not for the time being. So I'll come back when I'm actually hopefully getting some fluid through the lines. So several days later, I'm finally back again. I had plans on trying to get this piston. Was it this one? One of them, I think it's this one here. It was partially seized, so I was going to play around with it, try to see if I could get it moving, and I decided I don't have time for that, so I got a new one. See that out of the way. Yep. It's from O'Reilly's. But it looks to be in decent shape. Y'all may know better than me. We might find out that it's not, but so be it. Got all the picture had like bolts here versus the Allen heads. Now this though is definitely different than what's on there, but as long as it works, I need to focus. As long as it works, that's all that matters. So the only bad part is there was no little cap in here, so I'm gonna try to make sure that everything's out of there, like there's no debris, I guess. So yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna take that guy off, put this one on, cross my fingers. I'm hoping it's just this caliper. I mean, in this one, maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. You know, the way these are made, let's see, you got those little grooves there. Maybe there's something to do with that. Obviously, it's not like some of the newer cars that I know of that like have sorry, this is in the way. I've seen, I think it was, pretty sure it was German cars, it was Volkswagen, where you electronically electronically retract the pistons, like with the Volkswagen computer that you'd hook up to the car, and that way you can get the new brake pads in. So this one's all hydraulic, and I know I've seen I did work on one Volkswagen one time where you actually had to get I got to get a special tool from either O'Reilly's or Advanced that was kind of like a spanner wrench, but it just poked into two little holes there, and you screwed it back out or back in. So this one doesn't appear to be that way. I don't know again, so that's forgive my ignorance on that part. But oh, and I'm gonna put my stupid me took two of these bolts out of there from, let's see, yeah, that one and that one. I'm gonna put those back in, and then hopefully today I can get this done. And if that one's functioning properly, I can take that one back to the store to get my $55 core charge. They had two rebuilt ones, one by Cardone, I think it was, and then this one was BBB Industries. So heard mixed reviews on both. This one seemed to have a little bit better, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. Well, I guess you don't care, but I'll keep mine crossed. So yeah, there we are. I'll get back to you once I get everything switched out. Get the line off, unbolt that again, pull it off, switch that screw over, and the little cap on there. Hopefully that'll fit. If not, I may just put that one in there after I clean it up. And then, like I said, I'm just gonna check this guy out, make sure there's nothing in there that I can see. So I will return. Okay, finally having some success. Coming through the tube now in my little Aquafina bottle bleeder. Yes, got it up to 20 psi on the motive bleeder, and it's working. So happy. So very happy. I'll let it go till that fluid looks a little cleaner. So, oh, and I was rewatching a video, part of this entire video that will be on here, because I forgot how to mount this piece, and it is that way. For those that don't know or forget. Yeah, so you have a little, this piece pointed out, and then the two pins go through it. Goodness. And in watching that video, I realized that I said that this was 9mm. It is 11, so excuse me. And this bleeder on the new caliper is 8mm. On the other one, it was, I believe it was 9. Yeah, it was 9. So, just so you know. Yes, I'm so glad that is working. I don't like the stupid light, but yeah. Slowly but surely. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to get that greenish looking fluid out of there. Up here. I will say one thing. It's a pain with this is, yeah, see the PSI has already dropped down to 16ish, 17. And I found that pumping like this does nothing. So in order to get it to move, forgive this, this will probably jiggle around a little bit, but well, anyway, it hadn't moved, but that's what I had to do to get it pumped up to 20 to begin with, and last time also, to get it anywhere up high enough to do anything. So that's the only bad thing I've noticed. And I mean, I've got this as tight as I feel safe tightening it. What's on there? Yeah. So, and one thing that I want to try to remember to ask on Ben's World is, let's see. So, okay, yeah, down there, that golden looking metal pipe that comes out of the brake booster there, it goes through down to right here, and then through and over, and it attaches over there, and one of those back there, somewhere back there. Anyway, the hose itself just doesn't look right with it. So I'm gonna try to find out if it, well, I can't get a picture of it right now. Let's see, can I? Anyway, the camera will get down in there, focus the way I need it to. But anyway, right in there somewhere. It doesn't look factory is what I'm trying to get at. Looks like something that was just kind of rigged together. I mean, part of it looks factory, like, I mean, that over there and this big line, but then it shrinks down into a smaller line and some sort of splitter right somewhere in between the fuel pressure regulator, which is right there, and then where it attaches over here. So I'm trying to figure that out. I'm hoping that, because it'll depend on if I still have a soft pedal after this or not. So, but anyway, I'm gonna turn this off so I can pump this a little bit better. Try to make sure it keeps on flowing. Just real quick blurbs. Yes, it's filling up pretty well this time, but I don't know if you can see it on this camera. It looks just so green. almost. It's really weird. So, still coming slowly but surely. I'll have to repump it again here in a second, but yeah, that's just nasty. Alright, I'm gonna wrap up the brake video. Ended up just going ahead and finishing, replacing the driver's side rear caliper. It started to bleed a little bit and then just stopped. So I just went ahead and replaced it. And then the two front calipers bled just fine. I got all that nasty green brake fluid out of there. And well, yeah, it even looks better. The reservoir there. So, ooh, that's cold. Sorry, don't mind the leaves. I need to clean it out. Anyway, I'm still having, like, I can feel the brakes are working better. The pedal itself, though, is still a little bit of a long travel, a little bit soft. The only other thing I'm wondering is, the only other things it could be is the expensive brake booster, or which without the let's see, you might be able to see it. Okay, anyway, okay, so this line connects here to a line right there, which in turn connects to a, see, this is a hard plastic line. It connects to a metal line that connects to the front. See if I can get it in there without having to take anything apart. I don't think it's going to show anything. Ooh, that's really dirty. Where did I get that, man? Anyway, sorry. So no, that's not going to show it that I can see. You can sort of see the hard line again. Anyway, connects, it just screws into the front of the brake booster, and that's the brake booster line that, again, like I said, comes to here, and then it runs, excuse me, I feel fighting a cold, runs and it connects there to the intake manifold, and can't really get down in there. It connects to this side as well. Apparently there's at least one check valve for this system, which is supposed to be right there. However, maybe it's how it's supposed to look. Yeah, I guess that's it. It appears to have been replaced, and not very well. So I'm thinking I'm really hoping it's not the brake booster, but I'm hoping it's just this part. Best I could tell, that to get from here to the other manifold and this check valve all the way back to this junction here, it's like 160 bucks. It's not that bad. The other lines, if I needed the other portion that goes from there to the brake booster, it's cheaper than that even. So I may end up replacing that just to cover my bases. Like I said, just because, well, and just because it just, I don't know, something just doesn't look right with the way that's just clamped together there and right there. So it, yeah, there's where it goes in there. So there's like there's like two check valves right there. I think there's only supposed to be one. But anyway, I will say though, because I still also have this noise, which, sorry for the beeping, like I said, it in my ignition video, it still does that with the door open. Let's try. Don't know if you can hear. Sorry, trying one thing. Let me hop in then. See if I can make the noise. Okay. So whenever I press the brake pedal, and then let it off, I don't know if I'll have to go back and watch this. It makes just a little bit of a moan, and that's even when, oops, sorry. Of course, the vehicle's not running right now, but I crank it. Okay. Hopefully you can hear it. Anyways, just on the letting off of it, just makes that little noise. So I'm really hoping that's not the seals inside the brake booster. It's like I said, because assuming it's even still available, I can't really tell on the website. It's like $500. Unless I can cross-reference something somewhere, and I want to say there might have been something about the W210s, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. So I'm going to kind of go ahead and put this video together and just put it out there, and I'll make an update video whenever I do decide to replace those lines up there, the brake booster lines themselves. I'm going to do that before I do the brake booster. Yeah, but also, I mean, if you see, like it just feels long, and even at the end, it's like, feels like it just keeps going for just a little bit. And it gets firm, but anyway, I'm just hoping it's just the check valves that are going bad, or went bad in those two lines, to where it's allowing air back and forth, so it's not able to provide a good enough brake boost. And I will say also, I've been debating, because of this, partly at least, because of this and that paint issue that I showed you earlier in this video on the roof, or the B-pillar, top of the B-pillar, where the back window is. I'm considering getting rid of this. I don't particularly want to, just because I like it. And yeah, it's rough around the edges, but it's comfortable to drive. It just needs more still. I mean, I've got it, to fix the brakes. Stupid non-factory radio that was in here that it opens every single time. And if you you can play a CD in it, but every time you get in the car, it doesn't remember where it started, so it just starts it over. That, and then the third brake light, the front bumper, being for the four-door, and just a few other things that just really need to be done to it. I don't know, just debating. Unfortunately, the paint issue makes it a lot less valuable, because somebody may end up having to paint the thing. That and the scratches on my door over there, the passenger door. So, excuse me. So I have been contemplating getting rid of my Gladiator as well. I've thought about getting rid of it, getting an older G-Wagon. That way I still have capability, four-wheel drive, utility space, and everything like that. But I've also been thinking about a Porsche 911, again, an older one, not the air-cooled, they're too expensive still, but the 996 or even early 997. But they're also plagued with their own problems. So I don't know. But I'll keep you updated if I keep this thing. we'll see. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I'll post an update either of me getting rid of it or of me replacing those brake booster lines, seeing what happens. Oh, and the AC needs work. It's leaking somewhere, so it doesn't hold a charge. Really hoping it's not in the dash, but of course it probably is. So there's that. Taking apart this dash would be, there is not fun. The only other dash I've taken apart was a 1986 Ford F-150, and that was pretty easy. Excuse me. So I don't know, we'll see. And that G-Wagon I'm looking at, there's one in particular, it's got a few issues of its own. Little LCD screens, barely legible. Front axle, gonna need a couple seals. ABS light, it came on when I was test driving it, which is not necessarily a big thing. There are some ABS parts that they don't make anymore, some of the sensors for the G-Wagon, so I don't know. Yeah, like I said, either way I'll post an update. What I decide to do, I end up just having to just get rid of this and keep the Gladiator, but like I said, I love this thing. It goes fast. And no, I haven't topped it out. But thanks for watching this whole thing. If you have any questions about this, about any of the brake stuff, I'll do my best to answer. I don't claim to know it all. I can just tell you what I figured out or learned off of bensworld.org. Thanks again. Bye.